The Honda Civic and Toyota Corolla are the leaders of the compact sedan segment. Both are dependable, nicely equipped, have great fuel economy, and enough space to satisfy most needs. But which one is supreme and which one is right for you? Let's find out. For this comparison video, I'm going to compare the most popular and sportiest trim for both, the Civic Sport versus the Corolla SE. Number 1. Exterior looks. In the past, both the Civic and Corolla were very conservative with their styling and both were very bland and neutral. If you look at the current generation for both, it's obvious Honda and Toyota said no more. Both cars look modern, stylish, and sleek and light years ahead versus previous models. Let's start out with the Civic Sport. It has aggressive front end, edgy headlights, fog lights, along with a wide black grille that spreads across from one side to the other. On the side, you can clearly see the fastback profile with the low stance and nice 18-inch alloy wheels. The rear end showcases LED taillights wrapped around on both sides, and the center exhaust completes the look at the bottom. The Corolla SE also looks just as aggressive as the Civic. The front headlights are LED and they have an angry shape that complements the huge mouth-looking grille underneath. The side profile is more like a sedan and unlike the Civic, but the short overhang and the large 18-inch wheels make the Corolla look sharp. The rear bumper also has a unique look with dual chrome tailpipes. The Corolla also features LED taillights. As you can see, both of these cars look great as sedans. The Corolla has advantage with LED headlights, but the Civic has fog lights where the Corolla does not. Looks are subjective, so which car do you think looks better? Number 2. Interior space. Both the Civic and Corolla share the same wheelbase length and is within an inch of each other with overall length, width, and height. So you would figure the two would be identical in terms of interior space. That would be the wrong assumption. Honda engineers waved their wands and pulled off some interior magic. The shoulder room in the Civic up front and rear is 3 to 4 inches wider. There's also 3 inches more additional rear leg room, which is great for taller passengers, and on top of that, the Civic also gets 2 extra cubic feet of cargo room versus the Corolla. The Civic also has more front leg room and front headroom. The only wins for the Corolla is having a small fraction more hip room up front and 4 inches more hip room in the rear. When I test drove the two, it was apparent that the Civic felt bigger and provided a much more comfortable ride, especially in the second row. Me being 5 feet 10, I felt claustrophobic in the second row for the Corolla, but did not get that feeling at all in the Civic. So in this category for interior space, the Civic definitely wins. Number 3, interior cabin. The Civic has a nice interior cabin. There are some hard plastic pieces, but the design and layout works very well. The infotainment screen, although not the best in this class, is touchscreen, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. The shelf design for the Civic and the armrest adjustability are also fantastic. Seats look and feel comfortable. Now, the Corolla also has a very nice interior cabin. Not as much hard plastic as the Civic, and the center pop-out screen looks a bit more modern and it acts more responsive. But the downside to that infotainment system is there is no Android Auto, only Apple CarPlay. The gauge cluster with a large center ring looks slick, and the steering wheel looks a tad more modern than the one in the Civic. The center armrest area, though, isn't nearly as useful, and there is no shelf for additional storage. I like the cloth seats a lot. They look good and feel good, and I feel comfortable in them. So in this category, I would say it's a tie. There are advantages to both cabins. However, if you're looking for Android Auto support, then you have to go with the Civic. Number 4, engine, acceleration, and transmission. The Corolla SE gets a more powerful 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, pushing 169 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. What's great about this engine is it has 30 more horsepower than the base 1.8-liter engine found in other trims of the Corolla. So with the Corolla SE with a 6-speed manual, fuel economy comes in around 29, 36, 32 overall combined. During my acceleration test, the Corolla felt a tad slow. 0 to 60 came around 8.3 seconds. I kind of expected more with this engine, but I felt like the engine was held back by the gearing in favor for miles per gallon. The engine was also quite loud under full acceleration. Now the Civic Sport also comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but it only pushes out 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque, so it does trail the Corolla. And although fuel economy isn't bad, it also trails the Corolla as it gets 25, 36, 29 overall miles per gallon. Acceleration felt about the same as the Corolla, but it's surprising to see 0 to 60 time actually came a hair faster in the Civic Sport at 8.2 seconds, and the engine wasn't nearly as loud under full acceleration. So for this category, on paper, the Corolla definitely wins with more horsepower and better fuel economy. However, the Civic Sport surprisingly felt a little bit faster and is faster than Corolla. And the Civic was quieter and felt more comfortable overall. So for this category, it's really hard to vote a winner. So again, I'm going to give a tie to both cars. Number 5, standard features and pricing. The Civic Sport starts around $21,550, and that's with a 6-speed manual. If you wanted a CVT transmission, it costs $800 more. Besides what I mentioned already, like 18-inch wheels, fog lights, LED taillights, infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the Civic comes with Honda Sensing, Honda's suite of safety features, also leather-wrapped steering wheel and shift knob, auto climate control, and push-button start. Now, the Corolla SE 6-speed manual starts around $22,750, which is $1,200 more than the Civic Sport. What's surprising is if you want to get a CVT transmission, the cost actually goes down by $700, although you do lose some features. The Corolla SE 6-speed gets LED headlights and taillights, 18-inch alloy wheels, a power moonroof, Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which is similar to Honda Sensing, leather-wrapped steering wheel shift knob, auto climate control, and push-button start. So basically, the Civic Sport and Corolla SE is almost identically equipped, with the exception of the power moonroof in the Corolla. I can't give a win to either car because it really depends on if you treasure that power moonroof or not. So again, in this category, I'm going to give it a tie. Number 6, this is a bonus, versions of both cars. Even though I'm comparing the Corolla SE and a Civic Sport in this video, I wanted to mention some of the other versions or variations of these cars. With the Civic, you do have the sedan, but then you also have the coupe and the hatchback. Now, the sedan and hatchback are both 4 doors, but for those of you guys that want some more style, there is the 2-door coupe. The front end is very similar between all versions, but the side profile and the rear certainly looks different between them. The interior space, cargo room also changes depending on which one you opt for. Now, as for the Corolla, you also get a few variations as well. You have the sedan, and then you have a hybrid sedan and a hatchback. Unfortunately, there's no 2-door coupes for the Corolla. The hatchback definitely has a good look and looks more like a traditional hatchback versus, say, the Civic hatchback, which has a weird shape to it. The hybrid sedan is also unique and gets amazing fuel economy, 52 miles per gallon. There are also many trims to choose from with all these variations. So since this is a bonus category, I'm not going to give a win for either car, but it does show both manufacturers does give you a lot of variety. As you can see, it's almost neck and neck between these two sedans. Out of the 5 categories between these two titans, the Civic and Corolla tied in 4. And I only gave 1 win to the Civic, and that was for the interior space since there was no contest. So, in the end, which sedan is for you? By the way, there are many things glanced over in this comparison video for these two cars. My full review videos cover everything about the Civic Sport and the Corolla SE. So if you are interested in learning more, make sure you check them out. Stay till the end where they will be linked. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel for more comparisons, reviews, first looks, and news.